So, so you guys, I know, I decided to share you some stuff. Okay, I know, most of the time I probably have said some stuff, that I needed to share. This was probably sad or anything, but today I thought I'd just share you some gratitude. Okay, because sometimes we need to share gratitude to open the heavens, the doors, um, an open universe, things for us. Okay, just so that we are show our gratitude and things. Okay, so I'm going to start some gratitude things. Okay, so gratitude. Um, um, that's what I was guided this morning. Gratitude. So my gratitude today is I'm thankful that from the 7 years, over 7 years of being in an living an institutionalized life and being put mental capacity. I'm grateful that I was able. I'm grateful for God and the universe guiding me to study certain rights, even though at the time I was not interested at the time, um, because I wanted to focus on things I enjoy. The good things in life. Just my artwork and just doing art really. Um, since that was my therapy, my lifeline most of the times when everyone let me down. I That was my way of communicating because writing was very difficult for me. So artwork was a way of communicating what I want, even though it was limited because I find it was difficult to draw people and everything, and I didn't have teachers that were very good. It was Most of them was quite discrimination. In honest with you, the majority I had to self-taught myself, and my main teacher was my college was my great uncle, even though he was not much in my life because of his illness, um, mental illness he had, schizophrenia, um, and other traumas that he was had to deal with because of his family, because his siblings was very jealous of him because he was known as the favorite, um, and which was really sad, really, because the only person really understood him was my mother. Um, she really understood him. She didn't exactly understood, but she had spirit of God, so um, and very spiritual, intuitive, and understanding. So she was very Christ consciousness, my mother, even though she had her own issues uh, um and stuff when she was alive, but She she was the only one that he felt he could trust every time that something happened to in his life. He was there. He could turn to her for help. Um, and she was one of the less. She always fought for his well being. Um, you know that she was that, and if he didn't contact, she always sent um cards. Just so anything happened, people know that that was someone, a family member was thinking of him, and that that she didn't look at him if she could, and she always had prayers and stuff. I prayed for him. People said, "Oh, Uncle Richard will never overcome and everything," and I'm thinking, someone who indigenous family who understood about God and power and stuff, and we used to fight for slavery. We used to help people buy out people's slavery. I know this downside of middle class families, indigenous middle class families, who didn't exactly experience slavery, but but they somehow end up slaving their own families, um, because of people. There's many forms of slavery. People think it was just white people or black families. No, 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 no. There's many forms of slavery, including people who are royalty. My family has some royalty, like French aristocrat. Even though we may not have the paperwork, but I have some family members who's good at this this stuff. Um, but But yeah, but anyway, so I was gratitude. I'm grateful that I'd study certain rights, though, even though I really knew about the laws and stuff because of my Libra, my shadow chart, Libra, okay, which represent my past life, being an archangel. Um, and it was all about law and justice, okay. If you want to know how about that, go to Google it. Not Google, but you know what I mean. Being equal, anywhere. Just research. There's probably been books actually about it. Ones of you best go to books, ones of you, but you could. But for me, I think I'm library banned. I have no idea. Library banned when it comes to borrowing books, and it was my fault. It's because I was locked up remotely, and my family didn't even um return the books that I borrowed from the library. They should have gone to the library and asked what I owed back. They didn't do that, which was really bad because now I've got books and I don't even have those old books in my house in my room because of my family. I can't really go anyway. Most of these books probably got rid of. I don't know, to make room for their stuff because I've got family members who's not autistic. Um, it's not their fault, but that is a sickness, and you know, because I have to live with both of them, my dad and sister. It's not their fault. I, I hope one day they will heal from that, but I no longer because I do believe everybody can heal from something. It's just if they want to, and if it's part of the universe that they're meant to in their lifetime to heal from that. But to be honest with you, I do believe that people can be healed from narcissism, but um, traits or anything like that form of narcissism. But because I do think it's not just a psycho thing; it's a spiritual thing. Um, but yeah, um, especially society puts it on people all the time. Everybody can be narcissist, actually, anyone and everyone. But yeah, I think it also runs in the family, on both sides of my family, my Irish side, and English side, and just my dad's side of the family, and then my mom's side of the family as well. So I got both of them. Both of them are like that. I tell you. But yeah, so I'm gonna go back to gratitude, but you know, but yeah, I was glad that I was in. That was very few family. Both sides of my family was one of the main people who managed to study some type of law. Um, you know, and I actually enjoyed it, even though I had some discrimination from from my tutor, um, from a community college. He was also um, you know, she's discriminated me, I have to say, and assaulted me. Um, she was not nice lady, but I know there was just a spiritual thing that's going on with her. So some things that she's spiritually was stubborn that she shouldn't. Um, you know, I have to say, some people like that. They're so judgmental about other people, all hypocrites, who are some complete hypocrites. Anyway, but she's stuff and she verbally assaulted me as well. I have to say, she verbally assaulted me. That was not very nice as well. Um, and got involved with my personal life outside the classroom. It's not none of business, you know. You know, 'cause I needed to explore and be with, start having how starting have a relationship with men, the opposite sex, because I didn't have that when I was when I was in school, because I left at 16 to do further education. So I needed I needed that experience, you know, connection, because before I was so busy and stuff, and I just needed that. I thought I had a bit of a safety net, but it wasn't. It wasn't exactly. It wasn't very interfering. So yeah. So yeah, I just that's how it is really. Um, I am quite, as I said, I'm grateful that I found my card. Um, so yeah, so what I was talking about, yeah, so going back to my gratitude of something to write. So yes, even though I didn't know stuff, it was good to have an actual certificate, and and I had a good teacher assistant. He was so good at helping me, and he has an autistic spectrum, but he is not that severe like I was. So he was very helpful. He was an artist as well, and he stuck up for rights, even though he's a gymnastic person. But he was really good, I actually told him, he 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 was he 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 likes to contact with a lot of people, who who the students, he was a nice person, so yeah, I'm grateful for that, because it helped me for, the things that I had to deal with legally, exercising my rights, as a human being, you know, so I'm grateful for that, and what possibilities I could, if people wasn't prejudiced, yeah, I would have done a lot of good, continued to study law, um, yeah, um, so yeah, um, um, yeah. Um, so yeah, so specifically when I was locked down, I had to be my own lawyer. Um, because the two lawyers I had, um, when I was locked up in Birmingham, Christchurch, as um as a 29-year-old, oh my goodness, I had to represent myself. It was so bad. People who's too slow and too respondent. Don't you know the devil's very fast, with his advocates. By the time you do something, take your time. It's too late. I just have to say that, you know, um, how slow people are um who work for good. They're too slow and too naive. So, okay, I have to say that. So yeah, it was very difficult. I had to be my own advocate. Um, and but anyway, I'm grateful that I was able to do that. Um, and I was exercise my own rights. And I'm also grateful that for Tony Blair, that his wife, who was in the magistrate, in London, the feminists. I know people say everybody's that, I do know, like, people, the Blair's family, people said some bad things about them. Yes, there were also people in the House of Parliament who are corrupt and everything, but Tony Blair was the only person. The Blair family was the only person who actually, um, put some good balance out for the working class families, whether you're male, female, LGBTQ, and even trying to help with things. And of course, mainstream did not want people to know the truth that they was fighting for human rights. Um, I do know there's this. I do know there's probably other stuff that's going on behind the scenes, but I'm just saying there was some good. Okay, there was some good that came out from the Blair family when they was in the House of Parliament the United Kingdom. Okay, they really went out the way, and so it was worth having that free compulsive. Of course, Gordon Brown, he made things. He was secretly an agent for to destroy the. I believe he was the one that destroyed that, but because as I said, after that he ended that termination of those programs and make things worse. Um, and especially when it came to Jobson, plus everything went even worse. Okay, um, it's not him and other people who destroy the Labour Party. I'm not saying the Labour Party's always been good. There's some dark stuff. I'm not going to go because I said I'm going to do about focus on gratitude. So yeah, so I'm grateful for that. That for Tony Blair, the Blair family, Tony and his wife Sherry Blair, that they put that out. Because it saved my life and break free from the family curses in those who live in the UK, okay? That didn't really know how the opportunity of rights in their life, because they was brainwashed to say, you shouldn't question the authority and all that kind of shit, okay? So I was one of the only family who managed to break free and questioning authority, okay? Um, and so one of very few families who managed to. I don't know other families, but I do know I have some cousins who do question authority, but they do it in a not good way. For me, I question in a good balance. I still respect my elders and leaders and stuff, but I do not tolerate those who keeps people in chains and not allow people who who don't allow people to think for themselves or question or go to the true source, okay, of everything, spiritual, physical, mentally, um, in the spiritual and physical realm, and mentally as well, and all aspect of life, okay. Anybody who says you not to question anything, there's something wrong about them, okay. Should be a ding ding ding, okay. All right. Even people who have angels and guides, fairies or anything, you they will tell you, even your ancestors, which I'm kind of a bit funny with them, some of you. Not all of them, but most of them, okay? Um, but I'm just saying that basically you need to check, because I'm telling you there's always gonna be a ding. Even your body will tell you, your stomach, is your brain. It's one of the things, your brain. And then this as well is your brain, okay? Or your spine will start hurting, okay? Or you start being clammy, or you start having the joints start hurting or something, okay? Those are the things in your life that there's something not quite right, okay? Do not hesitate when it comes to that, because I tell you, it will save your life a lot of things, and it's save you, free you from the slavery around you. Okay, it's better for you to be punished for rebelling than rebel, and knowing that even when you do not rebel, your slave masters, spiritual and physical slave masters, still bow, still it's still you're loyal to them, but it doesn't do anything for you at all. So it's better for you to rebel. Yes, you get punished, but it's better to be punished than than live in a complete ignorancy because you didn't listen to your body, your mind, and soul, okay, and higher sources, okay. So for me, higher sources means for me it's God, okay, God, or S, okay. I'm not gonna go into that direction. But you know, but there you go, right? So I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful um that that go that my whole life for the 36 years coming up to be 37 November 22nd is that no matter how much um um no matter how much people in the spiritual physical realm try to kill me, they can't. And the times when I was considered to kill myself, I never actually attempted it, thank God. There was times when I was going to be successful in considering the idea of detention, but there's always something that stopped me, and I'm so glad because it in the spiritual realm and the physical realm there was someone there to distract me. I'm so grateful for that. Um, you know, and I was blessed in even more for for more help that even though it may not remove this problem, but I still had high help. Okay, or on the physical realm and the spiritual realm. Okay, but I'm not going to say it was NHS. Okay, because that wasn't. They didn't help me. Okay, maybe what one good soul who's the sky's angel sky, but and probably my aunt and one of my distant relatives who was named Gordon, Nurse Gordon. She helped me when I needed to talk to someone because I really was in distress. But she made sure that I got someone from the psychiatric team. But because I was in distress, mental health team, okay. Of course, the mental health team refused. All they believe is medicate people when they don't realise that that should be the last resort. The really, 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 most people have mental breakdowns because of the fact that the life situation is not good. Okay, um, like paying bills or bad living housing situation, all that kind of thing, all the pressure that's put on people. I have to say, but I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that which leads me to the next one is I'm grateful that basically I I'm grateful for knowing experiencing how to not help people, okay, and how to help people from my life experiences, okay, my spiritual and physical experience, because that's all draining, okay, and also, oh, sorry about that, because just some food. Um, so I'm also grateful for the gift of resilience because there was times in my life where I didn't feel I had any resilience, but somehow God and the universe and my higher self activate that fire inside of me to keep on going, even when I'm tired or wanted to give up or die in some way, physical, spiritual, and mentally. I still was able to walk on fire. Um, I'm also grateful that despite all this stuff, people put me grateful um that God in the universe always told me that and my angel gun guys never told me that I was never crazy. Okay? I was in distress. Okay? So they was always on my side on that situation, okay? Um and certain people was on my side who in the physical realm who knew I wasn't crazy either. Um but of course they couldn't do much because I was not able to clear that name. That in the high position, but there you go. Um, I'm grateful that there was some. I'm grateful for the people who did stood up with me in and out of my life when I was in this physical realm, and as well once they step into the angels realm. Um, I tell you, I'm grateful for that. That they helped me. Um, helped me with my manifestations and able to bring things for me that I never asked them. I never asked them, even people who spiritually my spiritual family that I grew up, like Etty James, who was stood up for me my whole life when I was distressed when I was a little girl. When I had an infection and overcome a head injury and I didn't have alternative help, all they gave me was left me hospital, my parents to give me medication, and that was it. That's the only distress that I had to deal with. And yes, I when I was not speaking, my mom was given to me therapist, child therapist, which I don't remember. Um, I was too young to remember. Okay, and plus would probably to do with the head injury and the trauma. Okay, but because I remember I was about 2 years old when that happened. Okay, 2 years old. My sister was coming up to one. Um, because I got siblings 2 years apart from me. Okay, coming up to 1 year old. So yeah. Um, but she's very advanced still as well. But and she she grew up very quickly, fast for a young child. Um, yeah, but yeah, she was one of those pre-intellectual children, even though she doesn't think so because the school system dumbed her down. I have to say, my mom did try to fight that, but just I kind of wish she did more by finding a better school that recognised her. My sister had some early intellectual stuff because my sister was very smart, beyond her age. That's the reason why when we was kids we 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 was very good at looking after the kids who was very advanced souls, who was very smart within the smooth few days when I was born. So people used to give them their babies and stuff, and they even call us the babies whisperers because we have a gift of knowing, understanding babies. Um, yeah, even their own language. Actually, babies have their own language. You know what they're called? An angel language. Okay. Oh, and the Christian version is gift of tongues. Okay, which I don't like that. I prefer angel language because that is the truth. Because we all come from it. We originally all from angels. That's part. That's one thing I know from the learned from the Quran. I haven't read the Quran, but I know from people who taught me about the Quran is that um not by family members, but by um by um by a few other people that um that the Quran believes that there originally was angels for this physical realm. Okay, it was all angels. So which I believe that. It's, I don't believe in the punishment thing, but you know, but I do believe that they are right about that part because that's one of the early beliefs in religion. Yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, yeah. What else I could say? Um, yeah. Um, what else can I remember? I remember also. Okay, so yeah, so another thing I'm gratitude for is is knowing there's higher source, and knowing there's a God, okay, of the universe, and knowing that it's also does darkness too, in the dark realms as well. So I experienced both, okay, as an early child. So since I can remember, okay, um, um, dark entity tried to scare me and my sister and said to my sister, me, to jump. Of course we didn't because we were young, okay? We're toddlers, so we knew, so we just basically screamed and said, "Mom!" As we, that's the only thing we could say, But because that say so the the dark entity wanted to try, even though the church Jesus Christ just said like, oh, he's only under 8 years old and everything. That is partly true, but and then she said they like to test, rebel, even though they can't exactly do much on children. Um, I have to say that, but if their parents have permission in some way, dark spirits can go through in children. I have to say, or entities. Okay. There's a story on YouTube about this woman whose dad did a dark baptism on dark Christian. And she was mentally, and she can sing and cast out demons. Um, um, she's evangelist, I think. I can't remember. She was interviewing the last evangelist. She was on YouTube. I think it was on my file somewhere because I said, it's a real thing that will happen to her. But yeah, but she's I hope she's no longer homeless. Thank God. I hope so. Maybe it is a soul mission. Sometimes there are people who are okay. But anyway, so I'm grateful for that experience. Okay. Okay. So yeah. Another thing I'm grateful for is I'm grateful that I had direct communication with God and my ancestors. Okay, and my angel and guardians. Okay, above and below in this earth, and and being guided by from those who from another timeline. Okay, i.e. my divine partner. Okay, he sends me messages all the time, even though I may not always listen or disconnect. But I never met him in person, but I do know that he's somewhere in this world, somewhere. But I'm grateful that I saw him in the future. So yeah, even though I lose hope, I I gave in to the matrix programs and of this world. I still have deep connection, and of course my future children as well. They have saved my life more than once, even though I didn't want to consider me either mum because the trauma program of women throughout ages is is it can affect us a lot more. Of course, it's men as well, but mainly women. Because as I said, with women, we more close to the life and death realm than more than anything else. Because if you study it spiritually, you know that women is the tomb of life and death. Okay, the realm of life and death. We carry the tomb of life and death. Okay, um, so we're more vulnerable for a lot of things compared to men because of our yoni energy. Okay, a yoni energy. Okay, um, so sexual energy, the tantric energy. Okay, because we are the temple of the entrance of that realm, the physical and the spiritual realm. Okay, similar to Madagaya. Okay, Otara. Okay, that's that planet that was being called. Okay, so yeah. Um, I'm also grateful for for my angels to communicate me, and I mean the high archangels, Angel Raphael that came to talk to me and help me when no one else could, and he always loved me and remembered all the good works I ever did in my entire life, and many lifetimes I had before on this planet, and the other times lifetimes in several planets, um, but particularly in India round we was very close. Um, and I'm grateful for him that he chose to be my volunteer to be my. He didn't have to, but he chose to be Angel Raphael to be my guardian in everything, including love. Um, because he's a matchmaker as well. People. He's not just a healer; he's a matchmaker too. Which is so funny because my mum's side of the family was healers, so we also did do matchmaking. It's one of those part of the teas. Anyway, um, but I'm not sure with my dad's side of the family. I do probably know that there's probably were in the English and Celtic family side that there probably were matchmaking happening, but I don't really know that because that's dead in my line. But with the lack of communication, I knew it was about Christine, and she's got dementia, so I can't really get contact with her. And certain family members are really involved, so I can't really contact her. Okay, but I'm grateful for the ability to 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 know in the and seeing around things that I need to know. Okay, and so I'm grateful for those things. I'm also grateful for the fact that I got um for my spiritual abilities in the physical and spiritual realm, even though it hasn't been convenient for me in my birth condition in the society I live in, where I'm not really encouraged to use my abilities in the physical and physical, spiritual and physical realm. Okay, above below realm, but um, of course the above and below realm. What I mean by that, above is the heavens and below is the earth. Okay, above I'm really encouraged in the above realm, but in the below realm, the earth, they don't like me very much. They don't really encourage me, but in this old program that the opposition program that I've been dealing with, okay, but I'm encouraged for the unseen round to take every opportunity and everything, and I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for my gifts and talents and able to survive so many times when everybody let me down, including myself. I managed to always get back up and get going. Um, and and you know, yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm grateful for my gifts, the physical and the spiritual. Okay. Um, even though people may not appreciate me or I manage to not get the things I want physically, um, and materialistically, but I'm grateful that I always had enough of things in my life. I've always been abundant in some way. Um, yeah, even when my parents was completely dirt poor, and 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 we had to have people from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to help us financially when the system was really completely the time of Margaret Thatcher and John, who in Parliament, they really conservatives. They really made our life a living hell, but we managed to. And I'm grateful for Margaret Thatcher that this, even though she was a bit damn evil, there's some good that she did was that when it came to the housing market, my parents was able to buy a house. So, yeah, from the council. So that was good. When the window opened, my parents was guided to buy the house way before. So even though it was sacrifice that we didn't have a luxury that most people did, we 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 like holidays and stuff. It's always pay the bills first, pay the this first all the time. So, but we managed to buy the house compared to other people from our neighborhood who had more money and stuff, but they didn't have much children and stuff, but they just didn't. So I'm grateful for that, that we managed to do that, buy my childhood home, the house that when I was born to, and I'm glad that God looked out for me, to and contact my mother, um, when she was conceiving worrying about me, that gave her prophecy that everything was alright, and that I made sure that she was moved from Barton, Great Leeds Tower, to that was brand new at the time when she first had it, and she was moved to a brand new place. Just thank God it was better, because the roof was leaking, and she prayed, and I was led to C.S. Lewis, where this C.S. Lewis came from. Yes, where I lived in Risenhurst was a nature reserve place. It was a really big nature reserve place in a kiln where people used to make kilns and stuff. Um, but pottery, digs to build the kilns and stuff. There used to be kilns and everything. But as I said, I'm grateful um that I was able to live where C.S. Lewis grew up and born in nearby the rent house that he rented from Oxford University, and the nature reserve place was like 5 minutes walk from the house. It was amazing. And in the time when my background we had trips with travellers and with music and everything, it was like really, and had some good neighbours who had horses, and I was able to touch the horses, and I don't exactly remember because I said I've got so much trauma in my life. It's just difficult, but I knew my mum neighbour that she got in contact who used to have horses. Her name was Jenny. She had she had some learning difficulties, but she and was a drug addict. Um, my mum actually was one of her carers, unpaid volunteering carers. And anyway, she used to always had a horse, and then nature reserve end of Risenhurst. So I always had the connection with horses. I was naturally gifted with animal communication, even though I may not always think I did because of the trauma programs I was dealing with and the spiritual and physical warfare that I was gone through in my life. But it was nice, and I was grateful when I had the opportunity to have horses, connected to the horses. When I went to John Watson School, that I was able to go, and my mom didn't need to pay. It was free. But it was the place that would encourage me wanted to stay, but the school was very evil. They did not want me to continue, so it broke my heart. But I'm grateful that I was able to go and know what my gifts were, and I was able to go and I know that I could have been an athlete. I'm a disabled athlete in the sports industry of horse riding for a certain time. Okay, I know I'm tall, so but understand that there's other sports where you can actually do the sports industry. So, but yeah, I actually did actually wanted to have a living in horses industry, but that didn't open because that's a very privileged life, and mainly for white people. I'm not being awful, but that's how it is in a matrix problem, lower matrix problem program. That but yeah, I'm grateful for that opportunity, um, and also being grateful that I managed to I have gratitude for 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 the earth angels in my life, earth and stars in my life who who volunteered and fulfilled the contract to help me anyway. Um, he was working disguised in the school system, volunteered in sound healing and all that kind of stuff, and manifesting. For of course I know I did manifesting, don't realize it at the time, but with Angel Raphael, thinking good things of what I need and anything I needed, and going to TV and everything. But I'm just saying, I'm glad that I was able to been given free sound healing, the best at the time in John Watson School, music, sound healing music, and I'm grateful for for the sound healing music and all the other good things that happened and and those and 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 the black guy comedian guy I can't remember his name from BBC, who's from John and Need. He came and it's a shame that we didn't meet because I said the school was so evil, but maybe anyway, but he opened the door and put awarded the picture of all of us being funded. It's so funny because during need a lot of people, especially his family, was fundraising, giving their own money so that they can get the help, which is hilarious. I think people who are desperate should not be taking out their own money. It should be the other way round. But that's my personal opinion. Unless those people have enough money where they're not struggling, they can afford all the things they need for therapy and stuff. But that's a hilarious story another time. But I'm grateful for some of the good celebrities that did donate and help in some way, and um and it's like and especially one next door neighbor from a rich family who was old school friend who suffered from lockdown body from palsy. Her next door neighbor, David Axon, he smiled and just waved, and he had an autism spectrum, and and he was very nice. We didn't expect nothing. He just waved and smiled, and that's you know when we had a nice picnic. We had a little tradition. You know, her parents were really good people. They believe in God. I do. I think they was Christian. Um, so it was one of those wealthy places that has a wealthy village in Oxfordshire. I don't know where, because I was too young. But I've tried to pay attention as much as possible. My mum always taught me to be observant as much as possible, save your life if you can. Particularly what happened to her with her growing up as a kid and raising as a slave in her own family, which is not their fault, but they didn't realise maybe it was subconsciously or constantly they did that. But but that's how it is. But yeah, I'm grateful for that. You know, even being given even the little woman, even a woman gave me my first crystal. Well, I always had crystals, it's, um, but I had one crystal from a stranger from a bus when I was in my 20s, and she gave me one when I said I was felt completely around me, just completely deaf, and and she gave me that even though I don't know what happened, it disappeared. Um, um, but my sister probably took it, or somebody took it. I don't know, but but anyway, but it was really nice. Someone to hit that was kind on the bus. So that was nice. Um, yeah, I'm grateful for all the strangers in my life that came and helped me in some way, and pray for me and support me. Yeah. In this world, in the physical world, who've been earth angels in my life, unseen earth angels. They've helped me so much. Um, even didn't ask, but just helped me anyway, or even gave me money when I was on the streets, jog up the streets. Just give me shoes, everything. money for shoes or something when my shoes broke, or those kind of thing. People, there's, I'm really glad there were some kind people out there, even though I had some really bad people as well. But I'm not going to get into that part. But yeah, there was some good people. Okay, there were some people that did believe me when I was in distress, even though I was in the um, you know, so yeah, I'm really grateful for those things, and also grateful for 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 those if who who's been very flexible and understanding to me, even though they don't know understand all of them about me, but they understood me enough. I'm really grateful for that, and my soul and family. Um, you know, even though they don't always understand me completely, because nobody can, but um, but well, okay, that's not true. My divine family kind of reminds me like. Okay, he said no, actually, I have. He understands me and God understands me, okay? And the God and angels and guardians and sing round, they understand me completely, okay? Below and above this realm, okay? So, yeah, so, anyway, so funny. Well, my divine partner, he's like, God, when I actually going to see him, I'm going to tell him off. I don't know. I have no idea. But sometimes I imagine I'm going to tell him off when I actually do see him in person. I'm going in this physical realm. I'm going to like say, "Fuck you." You might be saying, "Fuck me back." Okay, this is one reason why I just put 18 plus for a reason. Okay. Um. But yeah. What else do I have to say? That's all I can say, really. But yeah, I'm grateful for my higher self, to be honest with you. She's awesome. You know, she's for my future and the past and the present. She's helped me so many times. I have no idea. And I'm grateful for my divine partner saying, he's laughing at me like, okay. But anyway, so yeah. So yeah, so yeah, I'm grateful. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a go. I want to go more, but I do know that there's some people who's watching me, my enemies. Honestly, I don't really care because I know their power. Because had a prayer meditation about concerning the Archangel Metatron that they do not, that my enemies have no power over me. But I'm grateful, like Job of old, that they cannot kill me. They have no. It's not my time to be dead. Okay, spiritually and physically dead, in any way. So they can't do nothing for me. Because that they're not. Yes, they in my life for a certain time, but that contract is now over. It's been over for some time, but and they've done some really bad things. But I'm, I'm, I'm grateful that I'm always been protected. You know, and no matter what happens, I'm always on the right path. Whether myself has put me down. People, me as well, myself has put myself down. But God has always rise me up once more, rise me up from the dead, and spiritual and physically from the dead. I managed to, in this lifetime, I definitely managed to stay alive and succeed, and I was protected in many ways, whether I realize it or not. I have. My higher self, she says yes. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I gotta go. Time's going. I got appointments coming up. I need to get on. But yeah. Thank you. Bye.